Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel's View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. Today we're going to be looking at some of your pictures and videos, quite interesting ones at that. I need to say something. When you're taking a photograph, that moment in time, you're pushing that button, you're immortalising that moment forever. We can't see anything else in that picture because it's never going to change. That moment will be constant. And that picture could actually lie to us. Now, you know exactly what's gone on because you were looking through the viewfinder. You could see exactly what was happening. Unlike a video, which would tell you everything you need to know because you could see things moving about. But with a picture, it really can lie to us and tell us so many non-truths. That same picture you could put down on the desk, somebody else could come along, pick it up, and their minds would make assumptions and start, well, you can see this picture here. I'd like to thank Like a Coyote for sending this in. Really appreciated. What we're looking at is a green object next to this object. Is it? Well, the first thing I'm going to say about it is if this object was actually in our sky, we would see many different pictures and videos of this so said object. And also we would get to feel the effects of this object if it was close in our vicinity, which we get to see every time those planets come round. They seem to be getting closer and closer, and the effects seem to be more and more. But at any rate, I digress. This object we're looking at is a lens flare. Lens flares tell us a great big story if we're willing to listen. Very, very important. There is also a projected image. They're both exactly the same. They're projected backwards onto the lens of the camera, but their delivery from the sky is totally different. One is from a light source and the other is from the lenses that are there hiding things. But we'll get into that in a different video. The question you need to ask yourself is, why is that occulted? That is, for me, quite an interesting lens flare in itself. We get to see this, it's blue, white, and it's normally got a red bit around the outside. But hey, let's have a look at the next picture. The next picture tells us that this object we call our sun is starting to set through the chemtrails. This isn't our sun. Our sun is still there in the sky. It's behind this object. This object we're looking at is a sun simulator. A sun simulator, you say? Technology? Oh, it's not there to replace our sun. It's there to hide things in the sky. In conjunction with the chemtrails and the lensing system, you're not going to see anything at all. Here we go. Blue lens flare. Let's have a look at this one a little bit closer. And when we zoom in, we can get to see that there's a tree being projected backwards onto that lens flare. So they actually do tell us a story. A very interesting lens flare indeed. But everything isn't always what it seems. That's the most important thing to remember. I need to show you something as a reference, and this is a picture I've come across because it really does speak volumes. First of all, this is our sun rising through the sky. I was very perplexed to see it. I knew it was coming because it happens every single morning, and the day it stops, it's going to be very dark. In the background, we could see a curtain of darkness here. The only other giveaway what was going on was the colours up here. This was intensely red. The camera sees it in a different way, so it brightens it up, and hey presto, this is what we get to see. But it was extremely red. But what I'm trying to say is, when you're taking a picture of this object, which is yellow by the way, it's not white, and it travels through the sky, it should be a round ball constantly. Maybe if you've got a bit of cloud in front of it, or chemi, or whatever you like, you'll get a bit of glare around the object. But to all intents and purposes, we're going to get a round ball. But it doesn't go like that. It doesn't work like that. It seems to change all the time. Another thing to point out, if you look around the picture, everything looks quite normal. But have a look at this object we call our sun, because there seems to be an abnormality on this picture, and I've only just noticed it. Have a look at the top here. It looks like there's something poking out, because it's not, yeah, I'm sure it's just there it's happening, because I can't see it anywhere else in the picture. I'm not saying anything's there, but I find it quite intriguing. Out of the whole picture, the only bit of pixelation is around that object we call our sun. The next few pictures we're going to see are from Rise Up with Risey. Very, very passionate about what he does, like so many other people, so many other channels out there, trying to get the truth out and show that there's things wrong in our world, in our skies, capturing things that really shouldn't be on camera. But of course, all the cameras are faulted, they're all lens flares, blah, 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 blah. Links to his channel and everybody else's in the description box down below. If you would like your channel included, please let me know. And I will, put it out there for everybody to see. So let me paint a picture in your mind. You're sitting in the garden, in that chair, underneath that umbrella. If you're feeling very posh, you'll be calling it parasol. You've got your favourite drink in your hand, and you look up into the sky through the parasol, and you get to see this object here. Well, you take a picture of it, and then you stand up, change direction, and see if that makes any difference. And you find that that object we're looking at is our sun, which is a round ball. We've just seen that. And look at the chemtrails in the background. Just a normal thing to see. Sorry, water vapour. Totally water vapour. They couldn't be kept. Anyway, it makes no difference. So what you do, you go outside a little bit further and you take another photograph. And this is what you get. You might actually argue that this camera's been dropped, and it certainly hasn't been. These pictures that you've just seen are from Rise Up with Risey, but the trouble is when other people are capturing exactly the same thing in different parts of the UK, it leads you to believe that there is something going on. Here's a picture from Steve W, and it looks exactly the same as the last picture. It looks like the camera's been dropped, and what is normal about that? That is a star in the sky. Technically, our star, it makes no difference. That is meant to be our sun, a round ball. Then you've got a picture from Jono, and I'd like to thank everybody for sending the pictures in. Thank you very much, really appreciate it. But yeah, again, we're looking at a star, a kaleidoscope in space, lens flares everywhere. For me, that's impossible. Then you've got a picture from David M. Look, I mean, chemtrails up here and the sun looks extremely local, and it is because that is a sun simulator. Our sun is yellow. It's a round ball. It doesn't look like a star, and that star should be on that tree. So what this actually leads me to believe is there's 4 people out there that have dropped their cameras. They're all faulty. 7:48 this picture was taken. This is our moon. We got a moon halo. Ice crystals, of course. There is technology in front of this object. I've shown it many times, and we've seen it in front of our sun. The lens system, and this is what's being projected backwards onto the chemtrail particulates, as you can see, and only the chemtrail particulates, because down here you can't actually see that lens, but over here it is very plainly obvious. So for all those people that don't think that this technology exists, I've shown it in the last 2 videos. In fact, I've shown it that many times I've now lost count. I'm going to take you back to 2016. The Australian Weathercam network, and I'll leave the links to that in the description box down below. There used to be 65 cameras, and now there's only about 5. I wonder why they keep turning them off, because we get to see things that we really shouldn't do. 13th of November, 5th of November, and let's have a look. This object is rising, this object is setting, but in the background we can see something that we shouldn't be able to see. Look at the lensing system just here. I'm just saying about this bit here. Looks like a prism. In the background we can see there's interaction. This does look like a planet, but there's 2 lines. Take note. 2 lines, take note. And that denotes there's a lens system in place. If we're close enough we can see what's going on. You'd be very hard pushed to tell the difference between this object and that object. They look identical. They really do. Sun, moon, lens, lens. Petal effect, petal effect. The petal effect around the moon. The petal effect around the sun. Something relatively new in the last 2 or 3 years. Look at this. It does look like a planet. You've got to say it does, but it's not. But really what we're looking at is somebody's just walked past the camera. The wind has blown their contact lens out onto that camera, and hey presto, that's exactly why we're getting this. No other reason in whatsoever. So if you don't believe what I'm showing you and you're thinking I'm making it up, let me show you something from somebody else. Links to this in the description box down below. Let me give a shout out to Dirty Skies, CHEMIFORNIA. A pair of polarized sunglasses in front of his camera, pointed it towards that object we call our sun, and you'll never guess what he finds. Things that really shouldn't be on camera. Of course,
I said, what's your problem?
the sunglasses are faulty. That's what it is, brother. That's the only thing I can think of.
How are you today, sir?
Okay, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. Thank you, sir. Here you are, sir. Thank you.
I said, what's your problem?
I'd like to thank Travis S for sending this in, and you know, if you listen to people what they've got to say, lens flares are not actual proof of anything at all. No way, shape or form. How can they be? Because they're camera abnormalities. Oh yes, they are definitely camera abnormalities, but not every lens flare can be written off. Don't forget we're looking at a picture. That moment in time when you've pushed that button, you've heard me already say it. So we don't actually know what's going on. If we had more information like a video, it would tell us a lot more. So what we've got to do is go with what we're going on. And I'm saying down here we've got a building, and down here there are a number of children with bubble machines, and you are looking at the end result. That's the only answer to what we're looking at. But each lens flare tells us a very big story, like I said, if you're willing to pay attention. Not everything is as it seems, and not everything is, this, on the other hand, is very symmetrical. If we actually look around, there's one there, there's one there, and there. As you can see, those dots seem to line up, and it seems very, very convenient. Something that we're looking at in the sky that seems to be at an angle. The number of lens flares that are actually on the screen indicates there's a disco ball. And what is that object actually looking like? Because it looks like one of those custom rims off a car. That is our sun. It's meant to be a round ball. It shouldn't look like a Cadillac wheel. Look at all the lens flares. Look how, of course, there's one. Let's not even bother counting them. This looks like a lens. Inside there, we've got a lens flare. And to the left of this, we've got another lens flare. To me, what I'm looking at is technology that we've seen before over in Australia. Things dancing about in the sky that really, it sort of like explains what's going on here. It looks like a kaleidoscope in your face, mixing all the light up. So you've got no chance of seeing anything behind those chemtrails at all. One last thing with this picture, if we actually put this into a filter called equalize, we've seen this before, and it does what it says on the tin. It equalizes all the colour, contrast, brightness and saturation up to the same level and brings out a lot more definition. And if there's nothing there, what it will do is just lighten the picture up, nothing more. It can't put anything in, it can't take anything away. For it to be there, it has to be there, if you understand what I'm saying. It makes it easier for us to see things that are hidden. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And as you can plainly see, this picture has certainly changed, and it really, really shouldn't. You make your own minds up, because everything here looks very consistent, very patterned, not in a chaotic sort of way, and that was easy for me to say. I'd like to thank my son for sending this picture in, and his girlfriend. Well, he didn't send his girlfriend in, but she's the one that took the picture. And as you can see, there is a very, very strange lens flare there. But we can't discount what we're looking at because we're inside a car. As you can well see, there is a screen. Now, is that a result of the heated screen in the car? It is very, very possible. Not everything is so explainable. But even still, what a very, very strange effect. And here you go. You can see it just here. But we can also see that, son, you need to clean your screen of your car. You can't. How is it at all possible that you can see where you're driving? Especially with this object in the sky. We've got this lens flare just here. We're getting this strange effect. Heated windscreen? It is very, very possible. So let me show you something in this picture that's right in front of your face and you may have missed. We're going to watch a video clip which gives us a lot more insight to what's actually going on, unlike a picture. There are a number of things that I need to point out, but also if you were watching in the last two pictures and took notice, you would have seen something that my son's girlfriend actually did notice and she does zoom into. A number of points to be made here. We've got a number of objects just here and here. They really don't look like clouds and they don't actually move. They stay still. They just look out of place. You've got this object here we call our sun, and you can see the dirty screen. How can you see anything when you're driving? That bird seems to have left a present, and we've got a green lens flare that jumps about in the screen. But like I say, there is something noticeable in the sky that she does notice and she zooms into, which really doesn't. Yeah, it's there, right in front of your face. I think you can agree what we're looking at is out of place, and it was that much out of place that my son's girlfriend pointed the camera up and zoomed in. Very, very noticeable. On film, it might not actually, well, yeah, it's not actually film, it's video, but it makes no difference. Let's not split hairs. What we're actually looking at in our sky really shouldn't be there. Is this a start of a sundog because the lensing system's being projected just there? These are chemicals in our sky, chemtrails. Of course, they don't exist. And what's happening? They're spraying our skies. It's landing on our land. It's being processed and we're actually eating these chemicals. Many people are becoming ill because of what they're spraying in the skies. You don't believe me? It makes no difference. It's just water vapour. Chemicals do not exist in our skies. Okay, that's for you to make your own minds up about. Geoengineering, they've told us so many times. I'm looking at a sky that's being painted by a abstract painter, and this is the end result. Black dot here, yet again, dirt on the screen. I'd like to thank my son for sending these pictures in, really appreciate it, and I'd like to wish him a happy birthday for the end of the month. Anyway, let's continue. I'd like to thank Linda B for sending some pictures in, and you can see the first one here. We're looking at a popcorn sky, blue in the background. Look at the horizon. Popcorn that I really, really don't want to be eating, but we're actually breathing this chemical in, or these chemicals. Look at the, chemtrail in the background, and look at, it just looks so normal. No, it doesn't. But I think you can agree, a stunning picture all the same. And another picture, slightly out of focus, but it makes no difference what we're looking at. Many people have caught we're looking at a double rainbow. We shouldn't be getting double rainbows unless there are two sources of light, and also lenses in the sky. I need to point something out. What we're looking at here, I do believe, is our natural rainbow. Over here, we're looking at the lens projected rainbow. You can see the different colour in the sky. That really shouldn't happen. I'm just saying, I think this goes a long way in proving what I've been saying. But hey, of course, no technology in our sky. Another photo, this is in the afternoon. Look at the colours in the background. Yes, our sun and our moon can populate the same sky. There is no argument about that. That is the way the mechanics of the universe work, unless you believe that the universe doesn't exist, in which case we live in a computer simulation. Look at the background. Yeah, look at the colours. There is nothing going on. Honestly, there couldn't be. The Pell effect around that object that many people call our sun, this actually proves that that object is electric. But that's for another video. We're 20 minutes into the video, so I'm going to make this the last picture, and I'd like to thank Travis S for sending it in. And really, what can I say about it? It's one of those pictures that everybody can see just by looking into the sky as the sun descends onto the horizon. Things are not quite as they seem. Things are happening, and many people are noticing what is going on. But of course, it's down to global climate change. It's because of the fires and everything else that's going on, causing this effect, what we're looking at. Anyway, that's all I've got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.